Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is gonna be the second video in my DIY series, and I'll be sharing with you a fun project that you could do at home for personal use and also for gifting. It's a green tea body lotion. It's made with simple ingredients, and I'll teach you how to substitute it if you don't have the same ingredients as I do. This formula makes a beautiful thick lotion, but not too thick. It's kind of like the consistency between a light lotion and a body butter, if you know what I mean. Are you excited to make your own lotion? Then let's get to it! Okay, first off, you will need to sterilize your equipment. This is a standard operating procedure whenever you make a skincare. Do not skip this step. Use a 70% rubbing alcohol and spray generously on your equipment and surfaces. You can get the rubbing alcohol at any local pharmacy or drugstore. And then wipe off the excess liquid with a clean microfiber cloth or a disposable paper towel, because you don't want the wet surfaces to attract any contaminants. Oh yeah, in this project there will be two phases, which are the water phase and the oil phase. So you're gonna need two heat-proof containers for these two different phases. The water phase is gonna go into a smaller container and the oil phase will go in a larger container, and I'll show you why in the video. Alright, now that that's done, we can start. We're gonna start with the water phase, so measure this in a smaller container. You can refer to the video description for the full formulation and amounts of ingredients that I used. The first ingredient here is distilled water. Only use distilled water when making a skincare product. I use distilled water from Spritzer because it's very easy to find in the supermarket. To this, we're gonna add some glycerin. Glycerin is a humectant and it helps with attracting moisture to your skin to hydrate it. You can substitute this with pure honey if you want, but you know, honey is much more expensive than glycerin. Now it's time to switch to the bigger container because it's time to measure the oil phase. The container needs to be big enough to fit the entire batch of lotion that we're gonna make. So the first oil phase ingredient we need is emulsifying wax. This is the ingredient that's gonna bind the water and oils together, because we all know from elementary school that oils and water separates, right? So yeah, you cannot skip this. Without this ingredient, your lotion is gonna be a hot mess with just water and oils and colors all separated. Ugh. And no, you can't use beeswax to substitute emulsifying wax. It's not the same. Next, in the oil phase, we're gonna be adding some stearic acid. This is the hardener and also the stabilizer that's gonna keep your lotion nice and firm, and it also reduces the possibility of separation because, you know, it stabilizes things. It's not compulsory that you must add this, but it does make your lotion more stable. And if you've tried making lotions before, you'll know how incredibly annoying it is when you've made a beautiful lotion only to find it being very unstable the very next day. Now we're gonna add the oils. This is where you can get creative and explore the world of carrier oils. You can literally use any kind of oil. In this formulation, I'm using two kinds of liquid oils, but if you'd like to use just one type or maybe more than two types, you can just divide or total up the amounts according to the formulation. I hope that's not too confusing. So the first oil I added just now was olive oil, and the second liquid oil I'm using is Sweet Almond Oil. Next, we're going to add a solid oil or butter. This will contribute to the texture of the lotion. You can substitute this with just another oil if you want, but of course the lotion will be more liquid than it is solid if you only use liquid oils in this formulation. And I'm using Shea Butter in this formulation, but again, feel free to explore the other varieties of butters. There are so many out there with different textures and different richness, and even has different effects on the skin too. Shea Butter is known to be very good at healing the skin and is also very rich in vitamin E that is good in beautifying the skin. Now we're ready to heat them up. Prepare a water bath that is big enough to fit in both containers, because we're gonna need both water and oil phases to be at the same temperature. I know my pot is a little crusty, don't pot shame me. But anyways, you want to put this on heat until both phases reach 70 degrees Celsius, like so. I've scanned the temperature, but I forgot to film it. Sorry. Okay, be ready. Now's the exciting part. You want to carefully pour the water phase into the oil phase quickly while the temperature is still at 70 degrees. Yeah, so this is when I realized that the beaker was not big enough for me to handle the lotion, so I transferred it into this metal container, so I have more room for stick blending later. I was rushing to pour it because it was so hot. At this point, it's just a matter of waiting till the temperature goes down. Right now it's still pretty high and we'll need to let it cool to below 50 degrees Celsius before we go on to add the cool down phase ingredients, which are the fragrance, coloring, and preservative. A pro tip, the cooling down may take up to hours depending on how your current room temperature is. So if you want to cool it down quickly, just put the container into a cold water bath. It'll cool down within minutes. Once the temperature has dropped to below 50 degrees, you can start adding the cool down phase ingredients. The first one I'm adding here is vitamin E. Vitamin E is not only good for the skin, it also helps slow down the oxidation process of the oils in this lotion, which means it increases the shelf life of the lotion because it slows down the oils from growing rancid. Now, take note, vitamin E is not a preservative, which is why we need to add preservative next. I'm using Liquid Germall Plus. It's a broad spectrum preservative and it's very easy to use and very stable. You need to add preservative whenever you include water in your product or if your product is going to be exposed to water when using, because water means life and life means bacteria can live there too. Logic, right? Now you want to stick blend everything together. You'll also notice that the lotion gets thicker when it cools down. We're almost done, guys. Here's the fun part. The fragrance and coloring. You can choose to use any kind of fragrance or essential oils here, but just make sure that it is skin safe grade or cosmetics grade. Do not use a room diffuser fragrance or candle fragrance. It's not the same and it's not safe for the skin. Since I'm making a green tea lotion right now, I add some refreshing green tea fragrance oil. To be honest, I'm not a fan of green tea, but this somehow smells very nice and refreshing. And to make it more attractive, I'm adding some green oil-soluble powder dye. Again, it has to be skin safe or cosmetics grade. And if it's hard for you to get a cosmetics grade colorant, you can get away with using food dyes, but be sure to only use very little of it because food dyes will stain the skin. So just stick blend everything to make sure it is well incorporated into the lotion. You can add more or less of the fragrance and colorants according to your likings. And feel free to try different scents and colors too, of course. And we're actually done! Oh my gosh! So while it is still a little warm and runny, you need to take advantage of it and pour immediately into your packaging of choice. Because once it has cooled down and set, trust me, it's gonna be hella messy when you try to pour it then. I'm using these cute 500ml pump bottles that I got off of Shopee. I made a 1 kilo batch of the lotion and it fits me 2 of these pump bottles and I still have a little extra. You can see that there's already some lumps when I'm pouring because the lotion has started to cool and solidify. It's fine, don't panic, that's normal. So there you have it, some fun DIY lotion that you can try for yourself. Be sure to read the descriptions to find the full formulations there. You can readjust the formulations to your likings, you can scale it up or scale it down and change the ingredients to anything you have on hand and, just be creative with it. And because we've added the preservative and vitamin E, this lotion will last for up to 2 years when properly stored. Just be sure to keep it away from light and heat. Thank you so much for watching and for your kind comments. I do read them and I do try to respond as fast as I can. If you love this kind of video, let me know in the comment section so I'll know that I can make more of them. And if you have any ideas of products that you want me to make and share, just let me know about that too. Till then, see you! Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends and turn on the notifications so you won't miss my new uploads. Bye!